demonstration because we are very angry. Because the Czech state is blocking more than 1,000 people at the border with Austria for political reasons. Because they don't want the people to come here in Prague. They are afraid of the people coming here to protest.
Noi pensiamo comunque questa notte di rimanere qua con i funzionari dell'ambasciata, con Raul Mantovani, con alcuni compagni e vedere se la situazione si sblocca per domani mattina. Non ci crediamo molto.
IMPEG is the initiative against economic globalization, which is the umbrella group of many different organizations that are formed against the IMF and World Bank meeting. It's been very sporadic. I mean, first of all, it was a very, very small amount of people, and then it's really grown over the last couple of months. The people have come to Prague to take part in helping and organizing and coordinating.
And from where the people are coming?
All over the world.
I think it's the best way to. I think it's the best way to sort of organise, because you don't take away from the autonomy. You don't make people fit into your vision or perspective of the world. You join up, you network in terms of on points of commonality, and that's anti-neoliberalism, anti-colonisation, those sorts of things, and that's the reason why everybody's here.
The Czech people also have no such a developed strategy, because this is one of the first big meetings of the new generation. And Czech people will become more. Yeah. So here is mainly international people.
Ja, es ist die Chance einer Vernetzung von radikalem Widerstand. In den letzten Jahren gab es diese Vernetzung schon weltweit, aber in der Öffentlichkeit dominiert ja doch sehr so die Zivilgesellschaft in Form von Nichtregierungsorganisationen. Und IMPEG ist schon eine sehr radikale Bewegung, was die Position angeht, weil es eben sagt, keine Reformierung, sondern Abschaffung von IWF und Weltbank.
It is spontaneously developing. It's not any one organization developing it. It's spontaneously developing. It is similar to the development of the youth revolt in the 60s and 70s. It's similar.
Ultimately, they're going to be taking down these buildings and developing the land, but right now it's not used and it's available, and they're letting us use it for 2 weeks. So what we're going to have going on here is we have one large building where we're going to have trainings and workshops, a big welcome center, housing information for people, what else? Accommodations information, volunteer coordination, all different sorts of things. We have another building that's going to be an art space.
This is our friends. First, this guy in yellow jacket is from Poland, and he's an anarchist, like us. This guy in the middle is from USA, and he's from IMPEG. And this guy by the right, he's from Poland also, but he's from the ecological organization, like First Earth, something like that.
Do you know how long they are planning to stay there?
First they want to stay a couple days by
Really?
the hammock.
Really?
Yes, but now the police, they talk with police, and the police give them the permission to take this banner, but they must go out.
the way the Czech police treat peaceful demonstrators.
You got anything to say, man? Are you okay? Are you alright?
Not really.
Jako já nevím, jestli jste byli ten zásahový. Zavřeli jste člověka, který vůbec neví za co.
A neprocházel jste?
Já jsem občanská právní hlídka. Já jsem byla celou dobu od metru od toho člověka. Jo, takže laskavě, abych jako...
Deine Nummer, Identifikation.
Hey!
Your understanding is they've been arrested?
We don't know for sure, but they certainly were treated like they were. Obviously, we have no idea about the way that they were dragged away.
And how would you describe the way the police reacted? Was it brutal or overreacting?
Extremely overreacting. They had just come down from climbing massive heights, should have tumbled to the ground and dragged away in the way that they were. It's completely unjust.
But your action tomorrow will go as planned. You still plan to?
Yeah, I mean, this is why we're doing what we're doing tomorrow, because of treatment like this, because we're not allowed to speak our minds around the world, because people around the world are denied democracy, denied freedom, are in poverty, healthcare. They have no health care. That's why we're speaking here. So of course we'll continue. Nothing will stop us.
The World Bank financed the Chitzoy Dam in Guatemala, where I bought this thing as a matter of fact. 400 people were killed in Guatemala for that dam to be built. That was 1982. And the World Bank was giving money to the government for the dam. The World Bank said, well, I was not, promoting the killing. They were financing the government who was doing it. The World Bank shares the responsibility for a lot of massacres around the world. Mining is one example, but many others also. Big projects, because why? They see just the economic benefit. You remember in the World Bank, there was one of the guys, the chief economist, he said once, well, we should send all the pollution to the third world because they are under-polluted. It makes economic sense. Because if you put pollution in the United States, you have to clean things, and that requires a lot of money. But if you send it to Nigeria, it does not. So they want to send pollution to the south. This is the problem, that the World Bank sees everything in terms of economic profits, and not even economic profits for the world, but economic profits for big corporations. And those are public funds. They should not be used for that. And what about human concerns? What about environmental concerns? They don't matter.
Over these last 6 years, this movement has grown, has become much more receptive to the demands of those from the other side of the movement, especially in Latin America and Africa. And the people in Latin America and Africa are basically saying, they're killing us. There's nothing more or less that we can say. I think it's got to stop.
Last year, on June 18th, we coordinated people filming at an anti-capitalist protest in London. And it was a global protest. But what we did in London was we used the internet as a tool for getting images out, and text and photographs out. And from that, it became a sort of a template for how people around the world could coordinate stories and coordinate video crews to tell their own story from an independent point of view, which is basically based around the internet, and Indomedia.org, which was designed between Australia and America, between different activists, media activists. And the plan was to have one website where anybody can upload their own images, their own text, their own photographs, to say, this is the story we saw, bypassing the corporate media.
Tonight we're broadcasting from Prague and former Czechoslovakia, where Communist Prime Minister Miloš Zeman has laid out his new red carpet for the International Monetary Fund's annual meeting.
And since then it's grown, and now every single event that's more or less every big event that's happened over the last few years, or the last year, from Australia to India to Prague, Washington, Seattle, they've all got their own independent media websites, so they upload their own stories, and that's just a growing network now. And now media activists have a place in network right across the world now.
We arrived at the Independent Media Centre on Monday to find police checking passports.
Why do you want to see a passport? You don't know why you want to see a passport?
You must have a reason. You cannot just stop someone.
From our understanding,
it was illegal under Czech law for them just to randomly stop people and ask to see their passports. They had to have a reason.